Hello, hello, good evening everyone. God bless you. If you're in the house, you already know the kingdom rules here. Etiquette is to comment below. Let me know you're in the house. If you are here for the very first time, welcome. My name is Denzel Rodriguez, your personal finance geek of the 21st century. On this channel, we primarily cover the velocity banking concept, infinite banking, and kingdom authority. Tonight's lesson is going to be covering the velocity banking concept. We're going to do a nice walkthrough. I'm going to share with you a win. So I'm simply going to share with you some of my clients' numbers here on the board. Just sharing you a win that my client achieved. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some velocity banking pregame work that needs to be done. I'm just going to give you a small example of what that looks like before you actually start the concept. And then I'm going to finish it off with a actual velocity banking scenario, real case study, real numbers, and kind of walk you through the entire process. Once I'm finished, we'll open it up to some Q&A. I'll start from the very top, work my way down. So if you have a burning question, if you're stuck at a certain point, if you have a question on infinite banking, kingdom authority, velocity banking, debt snowball, personal credit, business credit, whatever it is, put your question now ahead of time. You might even get value from people in the group respond to you, which I love, by the way. So shout out to all of my loyal subscribers, clients that still tune in and contribute value in the chat room when people are asking very, basic general starter questions that you had when you first started doing velocity banking or infinite banking or other creative financial strategies. So I do appreciate you guys giving that value in the chat room. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to get started. So if you are here and you're on time, you're getting the value. If you come in late, you can just simply rewind. You won't be watching in real time though, but nonetheless, you'll get the value. So the first thing I want to do is share the win. So we're going to cover this top portion right here. So I have a client that we had our very first phone call on September 22nd, 2020. They've been following me since, I want to say like June of 2020 is when they found me. And then they eventually signed up around, I think it was August. They became a lifetime client. Boom. And then September 22nd, we had our very first phone call. So this was their numbers the very first time we spoke. They were making $7,802.82 a month. Their expenses was $7,158.54. Total debt, $255,489.25. Their cash flow was $450. Okay? So part of when I initially speak to someone for the very first time, these are the four major numbers I grab. I want to see where they're at, what needs to be done, what can be improved, what can be altered, where can we redirect cash flow, do I need to build credit before I actually implement the concept, okay? And this person, by the way, does not have a debt tool at the time, right? So after one conversation, fast forward to November 4th, 2020, had our second conversation. Their income went up, $8,496. Their expenses went down, $6,940. Their debt barely moved. They were just paying the debts. They weren't actually, she wasn't actually paying off so much debt. She was actually incurring some expenses at the time. So we weren't too focused on knocking down debt right away. We were more focused on our four major numbers. How can we, can we increase income? Can we reduce expenses? Can we build credit? Can we increase cash flow, redirect cash flow, right? Before we actually get things rolling. So notice how there was a big jump, went from $450 to $1,556 a month. Now, two of the main things that she did to redirect cash flow was she completed her W-4. She changed her withholdings to benefit her now then to receive a refund at the end of every year. So she coordinated her taxes in a way where she gets her money now, right? And doesn't owe anything at the end of the year, nor does she get a refund at the end of the year, right? So that's a very unique thing to do for those who are getting tax refunds. That simply means that you overpaid on taxes. You should not be overpaying the IRS. That's not ideal. The intent is to pay what is due and keep the rest, manage it, become a king or a queen, and operate successfully here on planet Earth. Okay? So that is a critical step. And the second thing that she did was she had a poorly designed whole life policy. And I believe it was $420 a month that she was paying into it. It was poorly designed, poor cash value, just not great. So what we did was, since she started learning about the infinite banking concept, she was like, okay, infinite banking is a bit down the line, but I want to make sure I have protection now. So I was like, let's go get some term life. It's super cheap. Let's go get us some super cheap term life insurance that's equal or close to the amount of death benefit you have in whole life. Redirect that cash flow to your 4 major numbers, getting a grip on your finances, kind of building up savings or building up credit, knocking down debt. Let's handle the more priority things around your finances, and then we'll come back to whole life, but we'll be more prepared, right? So she got rid of that, increased her cash flow over $400 a month, and then part of that went to pay for a term life policy that she'll be able to keep in place, and it's super cheap compared to what she was paying, and more cash flow. So $450 to over $1,500 in cash flow in a span of roughly less than 2 months, right? Then our third phone call, $8,455. It dropped a little bit, but she was being very meticulous with what she makes. She does have an opportunity where she can work extra hours and things like that. So that was her numbers in January 18, 2021, $8,455. Look at that, expenses dropped again. More management, being more effective, right? $5,985. Her debt. This is when we actually put fuel to the fire. We actually put the pedal to the metal, right? And we started going hard. So she went from 254 all the way down to 178 in such a short span, implementing pre-game work and a bit of velocity banking with a credit card. Knocked down a ton of debt. Also a combination of debt snowball as well. Also a combination of cash on hand, pre-existing capital to help accelerate this. Look at the cash flow, $2,471 going into 2021 in the midst of a pandemic. So you can't tell me that these concepts don't work, all right? Because this is an example of what it's like to operate as a kingdom citizen, operate in my kingdom, and be a giver, being able to contribute back to society and help others build up the same way. So that is a win. This is in a short time frame, drastic change. She is focused on building a kingdom, building a business, building her business credit, personal credit, managing her 4 major numbers, wiping out bad debt, accumulating good debt, paying nothing in the process, right? Paying very, very low cost of borrowing. Just being effective, an effective kingdom citizen. So shout out to that client for doing so well. And I believe I'll be having another call with her, I think around March. We'll see. Sometimes my clients do so well on their own, they forget to book phone calls with me. So sometimes I got to remind them, hey, book a phone call. Let me know how you're doing. Sometimes I got to let my clients do that. They just do so well. And once they learn the concept, they're like, I'm doing great, Denzel. You help people that are just starting out. I'm fine, doing wonderful. I love that. But I also like to stay in contact with my clients just to, keep sharing their wins. So that's the first thing. Second thing I want to share with you is pregame work. So here's another example, another client 66 years old. Their income is $8,296.35 a month. Their expenses are $7,204.49. Okay. Total debt when we first started talking was $452,141.86. Their starting cash flow was $1,091.86. This person also does not have a debt tool. So even up to this point for this client, they still don't have a debt tool because they're still building their credit, right? So we got 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Probably the 6th or 7th month is when she's going to go ahead and apply for a debt tool, whether it be a line of credit or HELOC. This gentleman is looking to do a secured personal line of credit, but we'll see. He might do unsecured. We'll see. But I've only had 2 conversations with this gentleman, and in that time, we've been focusing more on the 4 major numbers. Hey, where can we redirect cash flow? Where can we reduce our expenses, get rid of waste, where we just waste money? So here are just 2 examples of how this person redirected their cash flow to increase cash flow to apply that towards paying off debt or building up their capital. So one thing was they were with DirecTV paying $230.66 a month for cable, right? Well, he did some research and discovered this company called Black Box, which offers pretty much everything DirecTV offers for $22 a month. That is $208.66 a month in savings. That's $2,503.92. This piece of information alone that I encourage my client to do, literally, this in savings, what they paid me, they already got a return on their investment when they signed up for me for coaching and for me to consult with them and help them and teach them velocity banking and all this stuff that I've become very familiar with. So just that alone, whatever they paid me, they already recouped it. And we haven't even started velocity banking yet. So velocity banking is more than just the concept, it's everything else. It's the discipline, it's the rules, it's the fundamentals that go with it, right? The second thing was he has or had Verizon paying $317.11 a month. He switched to AT&T. He now pays $167 a month. That is $150.11 in savings per month. That's $1,801.32 a year. Add these 2 together. That's $4,305.42. Savings, redirection of cash flow. I didn't get rid of cable, right? Like I understand some people don't want to get rid of their cable if they're, some people are minimalists and they'll just get rid of things, and that's fine too. So, I'll bring up that situation with my clients and look, how far you want to take this? You want to be a super minimalist, frugal, real, like just really cutting everything out? Or do we want to just find better deals, better pricing for the same service, if not better, and save money in the process? So that's what this gentleman did. $4,305.42. Insane. Savings alone. That's obviously a cash flow gain of $358.77, whatever the number is on that. That's insane. Add that to the cash flow. He then begins to build up his cash flow while he prepares to remove things off his credit report, to then apply for the debt tool, to then implement the concept. Pretty cool, right? So that is really exciting stuff. Now, what I'd like you to do, for you to comment in the chat room, comment something that you have been saving money on. Maybe you joined a membership at a certain grocery store, a certain membership online where you get coupons and you save money on a lot of different things, or you switch from one service to another. Let us know in detail what you were paying before on a particular bill versus what you're paying now because you switched from X to Y, A to B, A to C, whatever it was. Comment that below while I erase the board here, because I'm now going to step into the velocity banking scenario that I have set up for you this evening. Okay, so take a minute, let us know, drop some value, give value, okay? And we're gonna get started just a second here. Hope we are off to a good start. You guys enjoying this? Let me know. If you like the pace, you're like, yeah, give me some more, give me some more, okay? So now, we have a situation, okay? Got a client making $5,521 a month. We're dealing with a 44-year-old female, okay? Expenses, $4,120.65. Total debt, $159,503.24. Cash flow, $1,400.35. Okay. I'm a bit late on the timeline, so it's February 2021, but I originally started working with this client in 2020, towards the end of 2020. So what I'm displaying is, what I'm going to display is what has already happened, right? And now I'm just sharing the win, the results, and in terms of how she goes about doing the velocity banking concept. And then I'm going to open it up to Q&A and try to answer you guys' question as effectively as possible. All right. So we got the four major numbers, right? That's the thing we need first and foremost before we do anything. The next thing is, what's our debt tool? Since we're going to be doing velocity banking, you need a debt tool in order to do that concept. So this person has a home equity line of credit in the second position. So second position, home equity line of credit. She, against her primary residence. She managed to get $40,000 credit limit at a 5.25 interest rate. Not bad. Okay. Now, she only has two debts when I first met her, in totaling $159,000. So the first debt is a student loan. Most people have this, right? So she's got a student loan. When we first started communicating, the total balance was $35,297.22. Okay. The interest rate, 6.63%. And she is paying $209.13 a month. All right. And then we have the mortgage. Okay. The mortgage at the time owed, so back in 2020, owed $124,206.02. Okay. The interest rate is 3.63%. The monthly payment, $958. Value of the home, right around $189,000. Okay? Now, the very first move that she made with her HELOC, right? This was actually prior to speaking with me, okay? So before we actually had a conversation, she managed to watch the material, learn, and decided to practice it on her own before getting, on a phone call with me, right? Usually don't have an issue with that. I usually encourage, because I can only help so many people one-on-one. So I create my content in a way where you can actually take this material, apply it to your numbers, and go and execute, right? And then track your results and see where you can make pivots and where you can change and just get better along the way, right? And then some people are just too afraid to, do anything, and that's fine too. And they'll wait for consulting or coaching, and that's fine too. But for me, when I'm helping people on a mass scale here, that is the goal, is to, not only work with people one-on-one, but also provide valuable content that you can implement this yourself. Once you understand the concept, what's really fun about it is once you get it, you get it. There's no evolution process to it. There's no, there's only so much you can learn in this velocity banking concept. Once you get it, that's it. You can never be fooled again in the current financial economic economy we live in. You can't get fooled again, right? So the first thing that she did on her own was she made a $20,000 chunk, okay? Chunk, for the new people, simply meaning she withdrew $20,000 from her 5.25% HELOC and did debt consolidation, okay? She consolidated this debt at a 6.63% amortized and sent it to a 5.25% simple interest, okay? I've gotten some interesting comments from the day I started my YouTube channel, even up to this day, that for some reason, people get so confused about the difference between simple and amortized. People fall into such deep illusions and strong opinions that they feel like these two are the same, that there actually is no difference. And I'm here to simply share with you, not tell you that you're wrong, just share with you and present the models that this, in fact, are two separate things that operate dramatically different from one another, okay? So simple interest for my new people. You simply take the rate of whatever you're being charged and times it by 365 days. That is your daily interest cost of borrowing, okay? So let's do some quick math, right? Let's break it down. So if I take $20,000 out, how much more debt did I just put myself in, right? If I have $159,503.24 and I take out $20,000 of debt, simple math, I now have $179,503.24 of debt. Can we all agree on that? Right? That's pretty simple. No argument there. Now, what am I going to do with that $20,000? In this case, we're applying it to an existing debt. $20,000 minus from the 170, where are we at? $159,503.24. Nothing changed in terms of the debt amount. What did change is the interest cost on that debt. This is how we go significantly faster than making extra payments. Okay? So, repeat. I take $20,000 out, I now owe $179,000. I take that $20,000, I apply it towards an existing debt, I still owe $159,000. Why? Because the debt got consolidated. So I went from 6.63 down to 5.25. There's no argument that 5.25 is less than 6.63. 6.63 is more than 5.25. No argument there. That's called debt consolidation. People do this quite often. Now, what velocity banking does is adds speed to the process of debt consolidation while bringing your costs to nearly zero. In most cases, zero. In many cases, actually coming out positive, where there's zero cost and you actually make money on the process, which is great. That's called debt leveraging. Pretty fun to do in the 21st century. Okay, so simple interest, 20 grand times 5.25%. Okay, 20,000 times 5.25% equals $1,050. Divide that by 365 days equals, boom, $2.87 a day. Okay? No matter which way you look at it, when she consolidated 20,000 of the 35 into this tool, she now pays a lesser interest rate. So even though she's still paying 6.63 on the remaining debt and paying 5.25 over here, someone's going to make the argument, oh, wait a minute. She's paying 6.63 over here and 5.25 over there. She's paying more. No, she is not. Due to the fact of how amortization works. See, amortized, the interest is front loaded in the beginning. Okay? So this 35,000, she's getting charged 6.63%. It's being front loaded on this bill right here, the 209.13. She's being charged more interest in the beginning years. In the later years, the interest goes down. The payment becomes mostly principal, less interest. In the beginning, it's mostly interest, barely any principal. So if you were to add a principal-only payment on the front end of the amortized loan, you automatically remove all of the interest, majority of the interest on the loan. So the amortized loan actually becomes really good towards the later years. So you actually get charged less. So when she moves 20,000 from 5.25, which gets charged daily. So for one day, however long she owes $20,000, she's going to get charged $2.87 a day. It's going to get charged. 287, 287, 287, 287, 287. That number is not going to change. 287 stays the same for as long as she owes $20,000. Okay? I want to be very clear on that. So simple interest charges me daily. Amortize, front loaded in the beginning, more interest in the beginning, less principal. As you get through the term towards the end, it begins to change. it goes more principal, less interest. All right? So all I'm doing is substituting the debt consolidation. Now we're going to add velocity. So you understand simple, gets charged daily, amortized, front loaded. Okay, great. On that transaction alone, there is an interest savings. Now, the very next payment she makes, right, 35,000 minus 20 is 15,000 and some change, or whatever the number is, right? In her case, the amount dropped to like 14,000 plus in her case when she eventually made the move, okay, is what it dropped to. This 209 is now going to work for her a lot faster and more effectively moving forward, which is really, really good. But now we have to solve for the 20,000 that's getting charged 5.25%. How do I reduce that? Because it gets charged daily, what we do is we take this money, all of her income, be very clear, all of her income gets sent to the line of credit. So on day one, she pulls out 20K. Now, if you're wondering, when do I pull out the 20K? The most effective time, if you're taking notes, the most effective time to make your chunk payment is on the day you get paid, right? Or the day that you have the most amount of income in your checking accounto, all right? So that's when she made that chunk, right around the day she had the most amount of money, right around the day she got paid. Now, why do you do that, Denzel? So that we can dump as much money as possible on the first day into the line of credit so I get charged less of an interest rate. So I'm going to be conservative because I don't remember exactly how much she put back the day she chunked, but we're going to be conservative and use half of her income as if she gets paid bi-weekly. I believe that's how she gets paid. So $2,760.50 goes directly back into the HELOC the same day we pull 20K out. So 20K came out, her $2,760.50 goes back in. So 20,000 minus 2,760.50 equals 17,000, right? 17,239.50. Do the math all over again. Times it by 5.25%, 905 divided by 365. Instead of getting charged $2.87 on day one, she'll get charged $2.47 or $2.48, whatever it probably rounds up to. Okay? Now, here's the thing. She only, every time she makes a payment into the line of credit, that's when she actually gets charged the interest. All right? So let's say, for example, she gets paid on the 1st and the 15th of every month, no matter what. So that means she's semi-annual, right? So let's say we are on the 1st of the month, okay? She gets paid the $2,760.50. She pulled out 20 grand on day one, February 1st, let's just say. Pays the student loan payment, 20,000 principal payment, not 20,000 principal plus the 209.13. She's still going to pay the 209.13 from her expenses. We've already accounted for that. So we're not going to count that in the 20K. The 20K is pure principal. And then whenever the due date is on the student loan, she will pay that 209.13. I'm going to show you how. Okay. So the first, 2,760.50, bam, goes right back in. After the 20K comes out, the balance drops to 17,239.50. Before she does anything further, right, on the first, we're going to make a little cross, a little chart, and we're going to put cash bills on one side, credit card bills on the other. All right. Let's say out of the $4,120.65 a month that she spends, be conservative, let's say $1,500 are bills that can be paid with a credit card with no transaction fees, no cash advance fees, no nothing. Okay? These are bills that can be paid with credit, no issue. The rest is all cash bills. It's highly likely that it's more than that, but I'm being conservative. Okay? So 4,120 and 65 cents minus 1,500 bucks. What do you get? We've got $2,620.65 cash bills. Cash bills meaning she needs a debit card, not a credit card, to pay for that particular expense. All right? Now, let's say she has a credit card, which she does, earning 2 to 3% cash back. Will be conservative, call it 2. 2% cash back on all purchases through the credit card. $1,500 times 2% is $30 a month. A month. $1,500 times 2% is $30. Cash back rewards. Keep that number in mind. That's very important. So, from the 1st to the 15th is how many days? 15 days. Okay? So over the next 15 days, she's going to identify how much money is she going to spend on credit and in cash over the next 15 days. Let's be conservative. Let's do easy math. Call it 50% of her bills will be on the 15th, between the 1st and the 15th. And the other 15% is from the 15th and after. Just to be easy. In most cases, that's not the case. It's highly likely that most people have most of their bills come out towards the beginning and end of the month. So what we do strategically when it comes to the credit card bills in specific is we try with the credit card. Let's say the due date on this credit card is on the 5th of every month and the closing date is the 8th. All right? Due date's on the 5th, closing date's on the 8th. This $1,500, the goal of this person and all of my clients, the way I teach them, is to have all of these bills show up on the 9th or after. Why? Big reason why, 0 cost, no interest, will get charged to me in the month of February or the month of March. So when you swipe your credit card, let's say we're in February. We're in February. It's February 11th for this person. Over the next, from February 10th to the end of the month, to the 28th, right? She's going to spend $1,500 on the credit card. All of that $1,500 will not show up on March 5th that she owes $1,500. How cool is that? Why is that, Denzel? The reason for that is the credit card companies send the bill after the 8th. On the 8th, they close the statement. That's the end of that month for them. They send you the bill. They say, here's how much you owe on March 5th. So maybe she swiped her card like for 20 bucks, 50 bucks on February 3rd and didn't have any other bills till after the 9th. So she only owes 50 bucks on March 5th. The other $1,500 is not going to show up, nor is she going to get charged interest until April 5th. Do you know how many paychecks that is from now, February 11th, to April 5th? That's roughly 3-4 paychecks, almost 5. That is a lot of income to reduce my borrowing cost to zero, to nada, to nothing, zilch. That's it, right? That's why we do that. Very highly effective in how we transact and add velocity to the speed at which you transact business. Highly effective, okay? So coming back to the debt tool, home equity line of credit, you understand the credit card, you understand what happened, $20,000 chunk came out, income went in, the balance is at $17,239.50. Over the next 15 days, she is going to spend, let's say, the $2,620.65, let's divide that by 2. She's going to spend $1,310.32 from the 1st to the 15th. So what she can do, option 1, is she can make a withdrawal. So she did one withdrawal on the 1st of 20K. She made one deposit of $2,760.50 on the same day, and then she made another withdrawal the same day on the 1st of, let's say, $1,310.32. Okay? That's one option, is she can do that all at once, one withdrawal, until the next paycheck comes in. She knows she's going to spend $1,310.32 because she ran through all of her bills, the dates, the due dates, the amounts, everything. When you work with me, we know our numbers, period. No exception. You must know all your numbers in order to implement this concept effectively. There's no spreadsheet that can tell you your numbers other than you. You have to put the numbers in the spreadsheet. So you can't cheat yourself when you look at a spreadsheet. You got to initially write everything down, and then you add it to the spreadsheet, and then you see, and then you calculate, and then you pivot. And you make the difference. It's powerful stuff. This is kingdom stuff. Kingdom management. Kingdom principles. Who's with me? I get an amen. Okay? So now, $1,310.32 comes out. That's one option. The second option is she can look at the next 3 to 5 days and only pull out what she needs when she needs it. Why do we do that? To reduce our daily interest rate. Because we're getting charged simple, the rate constantly changes. So 5.25% isn't really 5.25%. It can change to 3, to 4, to 1, to nothing, depending on how long we pull the money out and how long we keep that money outstanding for. All right. So let's say keep it real simple. Let's say we went with option 1. Real easy. So $17,239.50 plus $1,310.32 is now $18,549.82. Times that by the 5.25% rate, divide by 365, bam. My final number for that day. A lot happened on that one day. Money went out, money went in, money went out again. 3 moves, right? Bing, bang, boom. 266 is what she will get charged on day 1 and for the preceding days for however long she owes that amount. So in this case, we know she's going to owe 266. I mean, she's going to owe 18,549.82 for 15 days. So we can do $2.66 times it by 15 to be safe. That's $40.02. Obviously, we can reduce that by another $6 or $7 if we went this route, the 3 to 5 days. You pull money out as you need it, when you need it. Okay? So that's pretty fun. But I'm trying to be like, trying to simplify such a complex concept. So bear with me. $40.02 for the next 15 days. Okay? She will not get charged the $40.02 until she makes a payment back into the HELOC. So it's going to calculate day to day, but it's not going to get added to the balance until she makes a payment. That's how simple interest works with a home equity line of credit. All right? So now, on the 15th, what occurs? She gets paid again, $2,760.50, right? Let's verify my numbers real quick. Divide by 2, yep. So another paycheck lands, 2,000, right? So 18,000 right here, plus that, right? So that'll go in. So 18,549.82 minus a deposit, a payment to my HELOC, $2,760.50. Brings the balance down to $15,789.32. Then you add the interest plus $40.02. So now she owes $15,829.34 on February 15th. Okay? 15,829.34 times 5.25% divided by 365. My new borrowing cost is $2.27. The number goes down even further. Okay? But wait. Now from the 15th to the 1st, she does it again. How much money am I going to spend from this day to this day? Well, to be simple here, we've got the 13,1032 that has to come out, right? So we're going with option 1 again. She dumped her income in. She took out what she's going to spend over the next 15 days yet again, right? Now, in this case, February is a shorter month, but still, just to keep things simple, 15 and 15, 30 days, we'll keep it like that. $1,310.32 comes back out, right? So 15,829.34 plus 1,310.32 balances back up to 17,139.66. Okay? From the 15th to the 1st, that is how much money she will owe for the next 15 days. You have the first 15 days, now the next 15 days. With me so far? Comment below. Let me know. Is this good? Is this impactful? Is this working? You're like, yes, this is what I needed. Thank you. This is working. Wonderful. Take that number, times it by 5.25%, divided by 365. Bam. My new number, $2.46 a day. Okay, this is now the official number. Also, we're going to spend $1,500 on the credit card. So no need to pull more money out of the HELOC because we're using a credit card in addition to what's happening here, right? And I'm going to get 2% cash back, maybe as high as 3%, but I'm being conservative. We already did the math. $30 will come back. So she'll spend the 15 and the 13.10. $17,139.66 is $246 a day. Times that by 15 days, $36 and 97 cents. Add the two, $36.97 plus $40.02 equals first month she'll pay somewhere around $76.99 is the estimated cost, right? We went with the option one thing. If she did the 3 to 5 day rule thing, that number might be another $10 to $15 less. And then you add this here into the equation, cashback rewards. So minus $30, her actual borrowing costs, $46.99. On 6.63% amortized on 35K with the monthly payment of $209.13, the interest she gets charged on $209.13 is a hell of a lot more than $46.99. So therefore, not only did we do debt consolidation, we added velocity to the equation through banking products and paid zilch, $0 in interest the first month. If I pay $0 in it, so although yes, I paid $46.99, but it was the same interest I was going to pay over here. It was the same interest. I consolidated it over here, but now I'm going to pay less, a lot less. And for the next 6 to 9 months, we rinse and repeat. Income goes in, expenses come out, swipe the credit card, cashback rewards, offset borrowing costs. The minute the line of credit hits 0 or gets close to 0, we make the next chunk, which wipes out the debt that we were tackling. I get to the $209.13 faster. I saved money on interest, and I approach the next debt, which in her case would be the mortgage. Now, this is a very simple velocity banking strategy where somebody comes to me and says, Denzel, all I desire is to pay off debt. I have clients like this. They're like, Denzel, all I care about is paying off debt. I don't care about crypto. I don't care about gold. I don't care about silver. I don't care about GameStop, Robinhood, stocks, politics. I don't care about none of that. My goal, my desire, my morals, my tradition is I want to break the chains of debt in my family. So, what do? I do not convince them, hey, go buy crypto, go buy this, go do that, right? I'm patient. I'm going to let them discover what it is that they want to do in life, how they can bring value into the marketplace and fulfill their purpose in life so that they can be an effective kingdom citizen here on earth and in heaven. Okay? In the meantime, their goal was to pay off debt, so therefore the strategy is just to pay off debt. Obviously, the velocity banking concept could be used to accumulate good debt that pays us money. It can be used to pay off certain debts, not all debts. It can be used to build business and personal credit to make investments into different things to create more cash flow, more income, more passive income. Yes, we can do all that. I will not debate that with anybody. I totally agree. But when I'm dealing with an individual, we're focusing on what does the individual want to do with their numbers. And so that is a straightforward, you saw the numbers, you see the rates, no argument, right? You understand the difference between simple and amortized. These are two different things. It fascinates me when people comment and they say, oh, simple and interest is the same thing. There's no such thing as amortized or simple. I'm like, wait a minute. If the banks, if major corporations and major banks write amortized, simple interest, guess what? Denzel's going to use the term amortized, and simple interest. I'm not going to argue with that. The rates do get charged differently. My goal is to pay nothing in interest, so I use zero debt to pay off debt that is charging me interest, increase the cash flow, save money. I go faster than debt snowball, right? That allows me to go faster than debt snowball. If I was to just take my $1,435 and send it directly to the $35,000 for the next couple months, I mean, how far am I really going to go? I'm not going to go that much quicker. It's going to take longer. Because the $1,400 per month at that $35K is less powerful, right? It's not as effective as $20,000 hitting that, right? And so that's using 50% of her line of credit. If you're wondering, hey, Denzel, don't you usually always say 66% should be the chunk amount? Yes, that is a true statement. But if you look at her cash flow and income, not that ideal. So the way I get to the chunk amount, now mind you, she made this chunk on her own without my, say consent, which is fine. I'm not against it. She obviously kind of did because she watched my material and she saw me do a video where I'm about to explain what I'm about to explain to you, right? So I take the cash flow that you have, I times it by 12, that gives me $16,804. So I know that based on debt snowball, which is my benchmark to determine whether or not velocity banking will go faster than debt snowball, is all I have to do is pay more than $16,804.20 towards debt, because that's all debt snowball can do. Per year, her cash flow times 12, $16,804.20. I do a 20K chunk, I'm going faster than debt snowball. So I already beat it, no matter what. And the fact that the rate is higher than my debt tool just makes it even better. And when you factor in the credit card, it makes it even better. I just keep going faster. This is about velocity and solving for math, right? So all I gotta do is beat that. So that's what I do. I take your cash flow times it by 12, gives me a nice estimate, $16,804.20. Then I take the debt tool, the credit limit, the $40,000, times it by 66%, and I get $26,400. So anywhere between $26,400 and $16,804.20 should be her chunk. She was comfortable doing 20. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can go to 20, you can go to 21, you can go to 19, 22.5, 23, 24, 25. Anything past 26,400, not ideal. Now, because her income's only 5K, another thing I do is I'll take people's income and I times it by 6, or I'll times it by 5. So 5,000 times 5 is 27. 5, I'll just start playing with numbers. I'm like, 26,400 is a bit high for that income. So I was like, yeah, you could do the 66, but to me, that's a bit too much leverage for what you make. If she was making $9,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and made that chunk and had the same cash flow, I would be pretty much okay with that, because we have to remember our borrowing costs. We have to pay attention to that. We have to make sure we're actually saving and not paying more, right? There's scenarios where your line of credit will be at a higher rate than what you're paying off. And in some cases, it'll still make sense. In some cases, it won't. Usually, when our debt tool is less of an interest rate than what we're paying off, it's a no-brainer, because that's debt consolidation. Oh, I'm just moving from a higher rate to a low rate and then pay nothing. Okay? So I'm done. That was 1 hour on the dot. I shared with you my win with a client, share with you some pregame work, share with you a velocity banking walkthrough. And now, we're going to look at some comments. And we're going to have some fun. Got 101 people in the house. And this is going to be fun. All right. So let's look at some comments. We got a smiley face from Christina. Christina says, hello, Denzel. Renault, glad to be here. Wonderful. Lauren, hello. Jason, how you doing? Nathaniel, how you doing? I'm here now. Let the learning begin. Nicole, hello. I watched about 10 videos, still can't get this. Well, you might need to watch another 10. You know, it takes time, especially when you've never seen something before, you've never been, have it broken down like this. It's going to take some time. But I've shared with you some of the fundamentals, and hopefully we are one step forward, two steps, forward. You got, okay, now I get that part, now I get this part. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Jermaine, how you doing? Rafi, hello. Karen, hello, hello. Craig, how you doing? Say my name, say my name. I'm so excited to be here live. Yes, finally, wonderful. Good evening, everyone. God bless you. Angela, hello, hello. She says, I'm new, first time here. Let's welcome Angela. God bless you for tuning in. Shannon, hi, Denzel, here for the first time. Thanks for all of your knowledge. Thank you, thank you. Hello from Code, Northeast Ohio. William. Rafi says, I'm at a point where I have 165K in HELOC in the first position, 2.24% at this point, 65,000 available on high cash value life, a high cash policy with Mass Mutual. 65,000 available cash value in her policy. That's pretty nice. So she's got a debt tool, the first position HELOC, and she has a cash value life insurance policy, which is her own banking tool. So she's got it combining both. Virtual hug. Thank you for the massive value you add, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Christina says, made my first chunk today, upped my cash flow by at least $514. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Nice. Rafi, I look on ways to speed up paying off that HELOC to invest in rental properties. Wonderful. Love it, love it. Man, I would love to work within your kingdom to restructure our finances. Yes, I will be opening up my online course, my Velocity Banking Manifesto, and my consulting services. I will be opening that up on March 22nd of 2021. Okay? March 22nd of 2021 is when I will open that up. Now, it's not going to be open to everybody. You have to get on my email newsletter by clicking the first link in the description that says join my private Velocity Banking community. If you join that now, you're going to receive valuable emails from me. There's no sales emails. Literally, there's not one sales email. It's all information to see where you're at, right? And what route you want to go. Because I don't know, maybe you're like, you hit my channel and you like the Kingdom Authority, the 10X stuff. You're like, Velocity Banking, I got it. Infinite Banking, I got it. I'm ready to build a business at 10X. Okay, great. I'm going to send you some valuable resources and content and people to get in touch with, people that I'm partnered with to help you along that way. Maybe you're like, Denzel, I'm not even ready for Velocity Banking, Infinite Banking, not ready for none of that. I need basic. You're going to get an email from me that says Velocity Banking pregame work. Here's a playlist. It'll walk you through it. It'll go over your relationship with your money. It'll go over strategic ways to redirect cash flow and cut waste and cut expenses and get in the mindset of why are you in the position you are in today and how do we move forward, right? So all of the emails are strictly value-based emails. There's no no sales in it, excuse me. And towards the end, that's when I'm going to start sharing with you I'll send you a separate email just informing you, hey, I'm doing a live stream. Hey, I'm about to do a private Q&A on this topic. Hey, I'm about to do this. Hey, I'm about to do that. Hey, I'm going to be speaking here. Hey, I'm going to be speaking there. And then when I open up my service, you'll get an email that says, hey, my services are open. It's available for you to join right now. Here's the link. That's how I operate when it comes to my email list. Okay? Rafi says, I would appreciate any of your input. Well, you got to give me a question. When using a 0% promo credit card, what percentage of the balance should be factored into the expense to pay it down while focusing on the primary debt payoff targets? Wonderful question, Christina. Let's dive into that. Okay. So, I'm going to erase this real quick. Hope this was super valuable to you. All right. So Christina says, what percentage, right, of the 0% promo card? So let's say we all got approved tomorrow for a $10,000 credit card, 0% for 12 months on purchases. Okay? Depending on your four major numbers, your cash flow times 12, and what the focus is, what I like to do is look at your monthly bills. So we're looking at expenses, right? This number here, we're looking at expenses. And I say, all right, what are some bills that we can switch from monthly to annual and save money just by switching? You know, like for example, I use Kajabi to host my online courses, and I was paying like $160 a month or whatever. And I said, hey, can I pay annual and save money? They said yes. Boom, I save money on the bill alone, right? Let's say this credit card has 2% in cashback rewards. Losing my voice for some reason. It's terrible. So $10,000 credit card, 0% for 12 months on purchases. You get 2% cash back. So I only want to run bills that I can pay annually that'll save me money on the bill itself and get cashback rewards, and the bill can be paid with a credit card with no fees, right? Once I've gathered those bills, for me, Christina, I still use the 66% number. So in this case, 6,600, I might go as high as 7K. I usually like to leave some space in the credit card. That's just me personally. For the next 12 months, I will pay the minimum payment until the 11th month, and then I pay it off in full, and then get another 0% card and rinse and repeat. This dramatically increases your debt payoff timeline when you add a credit card to run your daily bills, and then you got a second credit card on 0% promo that you float from year to year. You just keep floating the expense, right? Keep floating it, keep floating it. And then you got your main debt tool, your HELOC, your PLOC, your all-in-one loan, whatever it is, your cash value life insurance policy, whatever it is. Really, really cool stuff. Great question. Rafi says, I'm doing Velocity Bank on the HELOC. Wonderful. Doctor says, I use Mint Mobile and I pay $30 a month for 2 lines. That's even cheaper than T-Mobile. Not bad. Frank Lopez. I've never heard of Mint Mobile. I don't know if you met T-Mobile. I don't know. Good evening. Hello, Frank. Christina says, cutting the cord and going digital antenna with Netflix. Don't even miss having cable. That's cool too. Frank says, love learning. Tim says, I canceled Netflix and every other subscription I had, like Audible, etc. See, some people need to do this. You need to radically cut distractions out, just for a period of time. I'm not asking you to do it for the rest of your life. I'm saying, can we do it until you get to a positive cash flow of, say, $500 a month to $1,000 a month to $1,500 a month to $2,000 a month. For a period of time, can we wipe out some debt, increase our cash flow by 500, 1,000, right? Whatever it is. And then reward yourself with maybe a vacation instead of, waste, or reward yourself with a gift, put the Netflix back in, or put the Disney Plus or the Hulu or the Spotify, whatever it is, right? How do you switch camera views? This hand right here, you don't see it, but I basically have my laptop right here, and I've got a 2-camera setup. I've got 2 DSLR cameras that I use on a day-to-day, and it looks like I'm making a mess here. I was trying to show you. So I've got my laptop right here, doctor. I got a camera up there, a camera right there, 2 DSLRs plugged into my MacBook. I'm using a platform called Ecamm Live. It's for Mac users only. And I use all Apple extensions to plug in. I'm using USB cables, right? Not HDMI cables. I'm using USB cables to connect to a Apple adapter, which then plugs into the Apple computer, and you see what you see. So hopefully that helps if you're, if you ask that kind of question, I'm assuming you're looking to create some content. So that's awesome. Antonio says, I sold an outdated car and saved on the car payment and insurance. Not bad. I took my husband from Verizon for 2 lines, $150 with a lot of restrictions to Boost Mobile, 3 lines with everything unlimited, 90 gigs of hotspot for $100. Allison says, if you're a student or if you have kids that are students, you can really take advantage of student discounts such as Spotify and Hulu. This is a factual statement, okay? So if you have a kid, right, that's in college, get them to sign up for Netflix, the Hulu, the Disney Plus. There's all these discounts that students get, and you can use their login. So when they're not watching Netflix, you watch it, right? When you're not watching, they watch it, right? Or if you need multiple screens, you're still getting a discount. So that's not bad at all. Shout out to my one and only. I will have greater cash flow in May once my son drops off my insurance, about $300. That's pretty cool as well. I just turned 25 last month, so hopefully my car insurance that I'm under my mom, that bill will start to come down as well, I'm assuming. Frank says, need to figure out how to lower my cable bill. I'm telling you, there's something called Sling TV. You've got freaking the Fire Stick, this thing called Black Box. There's all these alternatives to the Comcast, the DirecTV, the Time Warner cable. There's so many other options than those freaking things, man. You get killed. James says, hello. I work $3-something a month at a local community grocery store and save 15% off groceries. That's cool too. If you have a smart TV, you can ditch cable and get free programming built into the TV. Wow, that's pretty cool. Karen says, I don't understand what's first and second position mean. Okay, let's break it down. So, Karen. You know what a mortgage is, right, Karen? That's called a first position lien. So if I get a HELOC, it's now a second position lien. These are both considered loans, liens against your property. If you decide to not pay your property, guess who gets your home? The mortgage company, right? the HELOC would be out of luck in that case, because they would be second to get their money. The mortgage gets their money first. If you were to default, go bankrupt, or whatever the case. Now, a HELOC in the first position replaces the mortgage, and this becomes the first lien. That's it. That's what that means. Frank says, nice. No cable, only internet and cell phone, cost me $110 a month. Unlimited. Wonderful. With homeschooling and working from home, need the top internet service, and in Miami, it's high in my area. I agree. Little by little, we will try to cut. Wonderful. As I understand, is the first position line of credit is when an entire mortgage turned into a credit line. Correct. Second position is based on the equity, not the whole mortgage. Correct. Thanks for adding value. Call DirecTV and say you want to cancel. Tell them you will be willing to pay X amount. I said $25 a month. They agreed. I went down a level, down to one TV, but it was a win. Cool. Negotiation. That's a great way to, get what you want. Look, James just said it. Always negotiate cable or internet bills. This is good stuff. Switching car insurance made me save around $60 a month. Wonderful. I just saved $9 off my homeowner's insurance and got rid of $32 umbrella policy. Every little bit helps. You are absolutely correct. That is so true. It's all about cash flow. Once you get the concept, you can never go back. That's very true. Hit the like button. 100 people watching should have at least 50 likes. Oh, I appreciate that. Reminding everybody. Thank you, thank you. Best kind of TV programming is free. Spent $100 on a digital antenna and got all the major networks, plus some digital channels within a 70-mile radius. Not bad. Says, thanks, Shannon. I will take simple interest all day, every day. Christina, unfortunately, we are 90 miles from the nearest antenna, live in a valley, can barely receive one channel. Well, then I would be like, I would just get the freaking, whatchamacallit. I would just get the subscription stuff. You can get YouTube TV and freaking Disney Plus and all that. You have internet. So, okay, let's see. Cat in the Box said, what did I walk into? I'll look in, okay. Glad I did it. Went from $290, $50 for Hulu, Netflix. Yeah. Considering the benefit of reward points from using a credit card as my debt tool, any reason you think it would be good to consider opening a HELOC to use instead? Yes, William. Why not have both, right? So with my scenario earlier, you noticed how I had the credit card and I had the HELOC, right? So you want both. You want to use the credit card. The credit card helps you offset your interest on the HELOC. So let's say HELOC, main debt tool. This is where all your income goes in and out, right? All your income goes in and out. And the expenses, right? In and out. Well, you already know you're getting charged an interest rate on the HELOC no matter what. We need to offset that interest. We have to make it go to zero, nothing. So with a credit card, we get charged zero for as long as we pay the credit card off in full on the statement, on the due date, right? Well, that's very easy to do if all we're running through the credit card are your known monthly bills. Your known monthly bills. So it's great to have both, my friend. Nice. Makes sense. Pretty amazing. Wonderful. Debbie, good evening. Hello. Still depending on the size of the amortized debt you have, but if none exist, then continue with the card. Wonderful. Back to the basics. I'm here for it. Wonderful. Amen, amen, amen. That was earlier. So would I start by getting a HELOC? Aaron Hernandez. So now, For those watching, I shared with you a singular case study, real scenario. In order to figure out what debt tool I should acquire, it's important for you to know what your options are, okay? So if you're brand new to the concept, we could potentially start off with a credit card. It's easy to understand. Most people understand how to use a credit card. The next tool is a personal line of credit. It can be unsecured or secured. Usually, or all the time, a secured is going to be a lower interest rate. But you need to lock up some capital, so you have to be okay with doing that. The third tool is a HELOC. First or second position. The next one is an all-in-one loan, right? The next one is a cash value policy. Okay? This requires capital. This requires capital to obtain. The secured, you need capital. Credit card, you need credit. HELOC, first or second, you need equity plus credit. PLOC, credit. Understand? These are your options. Credit card, PLOC, HELOC, all-in-one loan, cash value policy. Denzel, I don't know. Which one do I get? Well, you got to watch, get on my email newsletter. I'm going to start sending you Velocity Banking pregame work. Here's what you need to know. Here are what your options are. Here's what a line of credit is. Here's how you find a line of credit. Here's how you evaluate credit lines and know the interest rate and all that good stuff. So there are the options. Hopefully that helps. So I'm not going to say yes or no, Aaron. It's going to be what works the best for you once you understand the tools and you've got educated around each and every one. Velocity Banking breakdown. Yes, still here. Wonderful. Amen. Hallelujah. So when paying back a HELOC, interest is added every time you put money back in because the balance changes. Yes. Okay? Yes. Because the number's going up and down, because you're putting money in, taking money out, you get charged daily based on whatever the balance is. But Lori, the thing is, with the simple interest, like if I currently owe, back to that example, I owe $18,000, I'm getting charged $2.70 a day. So on the first, I owe $18,000. On the second, I'm still going to owe $18,000, but I'm going to get charged another $270. On the third, I'm still going to owe $18,000, but I'm going to get charged another $270. $270 will not show up until you pay the bill. That's very important to understand. Because with some types of debts, you can get charged simple interest compounded daily. For example, with a credit card, let's say you did a cash advance on a credit card. Credit cards are the worst types of debt to have because it charges you simple interest compounded like day by day. That's why when you read the credit card statement and you only owe, say, $5,000 and it says it's going to take you 17.5 years to pay it off if you just pay the monthly payment, right? The reason why it takes forever is because the monthly payment is just paying the interest that is constantly getting tacked on. It's like it never really pays it off. So in that case, amortized is better, because amortized is the interest is already predicted. It's already laid out through all the payments on the amortization schedule, right? So when you are getting a HELOC or a PLOC, the interest gets calculated throughout the days for however long you owe $18,000, but it's not like you owe $18,000 and $2.70. And then on the second day, it's $18,005.40, right? That's not how you get charged interest, because if that was the case, we don't want that, right? We don't want that type of, the interest adds on throughout each and every day. We only get charged interest when we make a payment based on however much we owe from day to day. Okay? Very important to know. Very, very important to know. All right. So just like, come on, somebody, come on. Could you please go over the credit card due date and the closing date? If the due date is the 5th, the closing date is the 8th, and you pay after the 9th, doesn't that mean your payment is late? No. So what that simply means, and I think somebody already answered it, but let's just repeat it for maybe somebody that maybe wasn't listening or had the same question, was too afraid to ask. I am swiping the credit card on bills that I have, not the actual credit card bill once you owe it. I'm saying your monthly expenses. So set it up after the 9th or after whatever your closing date is, so that come the due date, it doesn't say you owe anything other than like very, very little amount in comparison to what you actually ran on the card. And you don't get charged any interest for that month, the next month, until the following month. That's almost 60 days of zero interest. That's wonderful. I get cashback rewards and all that wonderful stuff. So it's wonderful. Pay your credit card bill in full on due date. Don't use your credit card again until after your closing date. There you go. Hey Denzel, I was late to the party, but I already see you are doing your thing. I sure am. How long will it take to pay off the $20,000 chunk? Depending on their four major numbers, their income could go higher, their cash flow could go up. Typically, the range is between 6 and 9 months. What happens is you'll reach a point where the line of credit hits zero, but you still have to pay bills out of the line of credit. So whenever you hit zero on a line of credit, doesn't actually mean you paid it off. You still have to pay your bills, so you're going to be extracting money. But that doesn't mean we can't make our next chunk. Because of the amount of space that's in the HELOC, the only thing I'm concerned about getting to is close to the zero number. I don't actually have to pay off the debt tool before I make the next chunk. This is what gives us a huge leverage over debt snowball. Is people get caught up when they do the math. They're like, Denzel, if I do a 20K chunk and my cash flow is $1,400, 20,000 divided by $1,400, 20,000 divided by 1,400 would take 14.2 months to pay off the line of credit. How on earth is Denzel saying that we can pay off the line of credit in 6 to 9 months if our cash flow is only $1,400? That makes no mathematical sense. Well, what everybody is forgetting is the fact that I'm dumping $5,521 every single month into the line of credit. And I've got $1,500 a month that's floating on a credit card that I'm not getting charged any interest. And the fact that I shifted pre-existing debt. I didn't add any new debt. I shifted pre-existing debt. I'm getting charged a lesser rate. The whole point is about reducing our borrowing costs to zero and consolidating the debt and adding velocity to it. So if my 5,000 is sitting in the 20 it's only going to take me roughly 6 to 9 months to bring the balance down to maybe a 5 to 6K range. Mind you, 35,000 was the debt. Minus that from 20K, you're down to 15. In her case, the balance was at 14,000. 14,000 and some change. We're still making our monthly payment of 209. In those 6 to 9 months, she keeps paying 209, 209, 209, 209. So the balance comes down. My credit limit, let's say in the 7th month, my balance is at, I don't know, $6,000 or $7,000 in the 7th month of doing velocity banking after that first chunk. Well, if I only owe $13,000 on the loan that I tackled and I have a $40,000 HELOC, my chunk max, 66%, was the $26,000. She originally chunked $20,000. She can just do a $13,000 chunk. Why wait to go to zero? Consolidate the rest of that 6.63 to the 5.25, which is actually a lot less than 5.25. You see where I'm going with this? So I get to the 209 faster than just paying 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. I'm there for 14 months, right? It's different. It's ridiculous, right? So I hope that's clear. Irene Brown says, hi, Denzel. Hello, hello. Jesus says, been a while since I've been here, but that's okay. Joel says, hello, hello. Have you ever been a barber? No. No. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so I don't know if you're cracking on me. You know, I'm a little thick right now on the beard. My haircut is tomorrow. The reason why I get haircuts on Fridays is because I go see my girlfriend to prove to her that I don't get haircuts just for my YouTube videos so I look nice and clean. I do it for her. And then it just so happens that the haircut stays nice and clean for when I do a recording. You know, I look okay. But most of the time I'm looking a little rough. But that's all right. Why is that all right? Hey, you know why? You know why? Because what's more important, I don't have my wallet. Every time I try to go to my wallet, man, I never have it. But the reason is I'm debt free. So I'm not concerned about the way I look. Because when you become debt free and you're a kingdom citizen, man, things change for your life. Let me tell you. Cedric says, thank you, Denzel. You saved my economic life. Wonderful. Cheryl, hi, Denzel. Hello. Angela, hi. Jackie says, you are a gift from God. G-O-D. Link your HELOC to your checking account so you can hold your money in your line of credit without transferring money out for bills. This is another interesting way to maximize your borrowing costs. So, what Cedric said does not apply to every debt tool. Not every bank will allow this, okay? Not every bank will allow this. Let me be very clear. Not every bank will allow this. But if you ask the right questions, you can connect your checking to the PLOC or HELOC, and you might get a card with the debt tool. They give you a card, like a checking and a routing and everything, just like a checking account, right? So with some debt tools, now, for example, with an all-in-one loan or a first position HELOC, off the bat, you no longer need a checking account because you can pay everything out of the HELOC. So if you can pay everything out of the HELOC, guess what? We don't have to do this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We can just do direct deposit straight to the debt tool. How cool is that? Straight to the debt tool. Do you know how much more dollars per day we're saving? That's $1, $2, $3, $1, $2, $3. That reduces our borrowing costs to nothing. And then people wonder, well, you know, how the hell does that work? Right? They're not doing the right math. So Cedric, thanks for adding that value there. Totally forgot about it. But that is a great addition to finding the best debt tool you can possibly find. Finding the best debt tool you can possibly find is definitely one where you can link your checking accounts. And in some cases, you may not even need to link it if they allow direct deposit straight to the debt tool, right? So that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going down the line. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to the end. 35 minutes in, we're about to break 2 hours. Let's see if I can bang out all the questions. Trying to process your comment. Can you elaborate? I just elaborated for you. Okay, life changed since I started watching your videos. This is from Victor. March 5th will be the closing day on my second rental. Thank you, senor. Thank you. God bless you. Awesome. What are the HELOC rates today? That really depends on your credit. How's my audio? I just saw a spike in my audio. It went red, so I want to make sure I didn't go out. But the credit rates do depend on your credit score and what you get access to. Me preferably, I prefer to have a personal line of credit under 10%, a home equity line of credit under 4% or under 5%. Those are like the best in my opinion. The max that I will go on a personal line of credit is 15%. I don't like to go any higher than 15%. In some cases, it doesn't even make sense to be playing around with a 15% line of credit. You're really not going to make that much damage. We would be better off trying to build your credit, position us for a better debt tool later on. Stevie, hello Denzel. I would like to see a case with leverage. Is there any possibility to create a section for leverage cases? If you're in the manifesto and you watch the infinite banking section, there's nothing but leverage in that. If you watch my velocity banking scenarios, I talk a little bit about leverage there as well. So excited, I'm in your Patreon group. So excited, March 22nd. Yes, awesome. Yep, so March 22nd is when I will reopen the program. Might as well just, lay out some pricing so you know in advance what is being offered. So I'm going to be offering the Velocity Banking Manifesto. It's my online course, right? And I'll have a description detail just to explain everything. But it's my life's work. And that'll be $19.99 a month, cancel at any time. You'll have the option to pay for the year, $147 annual. And then I'm going to offer a lifetime access. I haven't decided on the price yet because I'm figuring out how I want to structure that. But these are my current prices that I'll have for March 22nd. Okay. March 22nd. The only way you can enroll in my course is you have to be on my email newsletter. So you'll get a notification, you'll get an email on March 22nd, the pricing, the breakdown, the link to join and all that. And if you're in my private Facebook group community, I'll also post it there as well. I believe he is referring to a checking line of credit. No, not necessarily. I'm in the manifesto. How do I get a one-on-one with you to discuss how I can pay off my mortgage and truck payment, which are my only debt? Nathaniel Underwood, if you go to the Velocity Banking Kingdom Network, so log in to your account, right? Log into your account. You're going to go to the Velocity Banking Kingdom Network, okay? In there, I have a post that says performance. I spell performance right? Yeah, performance-based coaching. Okay? And there are guidelines. There are rules. Read the rules, read the directions, follow the instruction. You'll be able to book a call with me. Okay? First position where your mortgage is on you. Okay, oh, cool. Answering that. Thank you. For my sports movie shows, oh, basically $50. Cool. Cell phone, $10 a month. Nice. Okay, we got a giver in the house. Nathaniel gave $10 to the kingdom. Okay, he was asking the same question. Yep, so I just explained it to you. So that's how we'll get to communicate. Thank you for giving in the kingdom. Okay, yep, we went over that. Which state has the Tello cell phone company? Okay, that's for someone to answer, I'm not sure. Bought Nelson Nash's book, just got it this week, so excited to dive in. Wonderful, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Denzel, explain that credit card again with how you go 45 days until the bill is due with no interest, due date, and closing date you was talking about. I went over it twice already, so you'll have to rewind. I don't want to waste too much time on that, but I'm pretty sure you get it now. What debt do you recommend attacking first? Installment loans, high payment, lower interest versus high interest credit cards? In most cases, Lee. In most cases, not all the time. This depends on our 4 major numbers, what your goals are, what we're trying to do, your cash flow, and all that good stuff. But in most cases, we start with credit card debt. We then go to the installment loans, car loans, student loans, and we finish it off with the mortgage. That's usually how it goes down in most of my cases. Now, if you have a credit card at a 12% rate and you owe $2,500 on that, but you have a $6,000 amortized loan and the payment is $350 a month and you're paying 15%, we might go after that instead, right? So it really depends on what we're talking. We have to see all the numbers. We got to lay everything out and do the math. But in most cases, it's usually the credit cards because people don't have their credit right, so they don't have a debt tool. If you don't have a debt tool, we usually start off with credit cards being our debt tool. We use a credit card, do velocity banking, knock down one card, jump to the next, knock down that card, jump to the next. Your credit gets better. We apply for the HELOC, and then we start wiping out all the other different debts. Okay? Okay. Karen, yep. Hi, Denzel, Terrence, and Kay. We did the refi on the home from a 30-year, 3.12%, been in the home 4 years, 5 months, to a 15-year, 2.85% gain, 300 cash flow by removing escrow, and 139 removing the PMI. Nice. Their intention is to pay off debt, okay? There might be other advice out there where they say, that's stupid. You shouldn't have refied. You should have refied up and you have a lower payment, get the cash flow, leverage that and go invest. That's another strategy as well. It depends on what are you trying to accomplish. Do you want to be a debt leverager? You want to debt leverage and you want a 10x? If you have the mental capacity to handle and manage debt effectively in up markets, down markets, and stagnant markets, go right ahead. Go talk to my friend Grant Cardone, Uncle G, 10x. Go check that out. If you're in the middle between a Dave Ramsey and a Grant Cardone, this is kind of like where I dwell for right now at my current state of mind. You know, even though I like to 10x, I'm still not leveraging debt to a major extent. I leverage debt with my credit cards, with my cash value policy, with my business credit cards. That's kind of where I've been floating. But I haven't leveraged a lot of debt to accumulate real estate. Not yet, but I will. I'm accumulating right now. I'm going through the 10x Grant Cardone processo, right? So I have a strategy and I'm learning and I'm educating, getting myself up to that point. Usually I have a problem with people that come to me with making $4,000 a month. They're like, I want to leverage. I'm like, dude, like you've got $200 a month in cash flow. What do you mean leverage? Can we get some kingdom principles going first? Are you giving 10%? Are you helping people? Are you saving? Are you saving effectively? Are you managing what you currently have? Did you build your business credit and your personal credit? Like, did we get the fundamentals down first before we start jumping and going all crazy? Right? That's kind of like how I'm in the middle, right? I'm past Dave Ramsey thinking, but I'm not past Grant Cardone thinking, right? So I'm in the middle there. That's kind of where I dwell. I like being cash liquid. I don't like having my cash locked up in 401ks and IRAs. I don't like having my money locked up till I'm 59 and a half. I like to have access to my cash, liquidity from my assets. This is why I'm going to be moving, into the real estate space eventually, this year. My goal, buy multifamily piece of property, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, Glenn, many banks like Bank of America are not offering HELOCs. Any recommendations on HELOC company currently offered? Live in California. Okay. Somebody give value. I know I have a client in here that lives in California that has a home equity line of credit. Mr. Glenn, you have to look at the local credit unions in your area. Don't look at Bank of America. Don't look at Chase. Don't look at Wells Fargo. Don't look at the major banks. I always start off with local credit unions, then I go state credit union, then I go federal. I see, I don't know if that's a military fit, but if you look up U.S. Bank, Penn Fed, Navy Fed is not doing HELOCs at the moment, but usually military-friendly credit unions are very good in terms of getting a home equity line of credit. Would it make sense to do velocity banking to pay off your mortgage if you have a very low interest rate, 1.75 fixed for 15 years? Louis, again, hey, Louis, let's say you're a diehard Christian or a Orthodox Jew, or you come from, maybe Muslim descent. Maybe your religion, your morals have something to do with that, whether or not I should pay off debt or not. So let's evaluate. Louis, who is Louis Gomez? Who are you? Why are you here? What's your purpose in life? Where are you going? Okay? You get to decide. Do I want to leverage debt? Or do I want to be free from all the debt and not have any obligations whatsoever? I don't care if Grant Cardone is making millions of dollars leveraging debt. I don't care if Robert Kiyosaki is doing it. I don't care if Tony Robbins is doing it. If that's not a part of your genetic coding, your DNA, if it affects your morals, why are you listening to that, right? Pay off the debt, be free, is one way of looking at it, okay? Another perspective is you look at the environment, you look at the U.S. economy, you say, wow, we're over 26 trillion in debt. Wow, the U.S. dollar has decreased significantly. Wow, the U.S. government has printed over $6 trillion in the last 12 months. Wow, crypto has risen, Bitcoin to almost 50,000. Wow, gold risen, silver, stocks, everything, assets are going up. The cash is trash. It's going down. Cash is not king, no longer. Cash is only king amongst your friends. Cash is not king in the business world. It's debt. Debt. Whoever can leverage debt better is by far is going to have more. Simply because the guy that holds on to $300,000 cash in his bank account earning 0.01% versus the guy who leverages $30 million worth of real estate with his $300,000 in cash to obtain a lot of real estate and flip the money and create cash flow is going to reap the benefits of the current economic system that we live in. That is just the facts. So coming back to you, Louis, we want to ask ourselves, all right, I've got this 15-year mortgage at 1.75%. What are the benefits of me paying this off? Let's say religion's not an issue for you. Let's say you don't have any, cultural issues holding you back from making this decision. Let's just say it's a pure logical decision. Pure logical decision. 1.75% on a 15-year mortgage, right? If I take, let's say you got $1,500 a month in cash flow, times that by 12, that's 18 grand. Is that correct? 1,500 times 12, $18,000. Option one, debt snowball. $1,500 a month, send it to your line of credit, send it to your mortgage, whatever, right? That's one way. You can do maybe infinite banking. 18K, send it to your policy, borrow out a portion, pay off the mortgage. Second option. Third option, you say, that's only 1.75%. It's not even worth paying it off. The payoff is I'm not going to have a payment, but I still got to pay taxes on it and all this stuff. And I still got to make repairs on the home. Wife wants me to redo the kitchen and the bathroom, and I'm trying to do the garage and right? And now wife wants a pool for the kids, and now wife wants a garden and You just keep putting money into that thing anyways. So instead of paying that off, what if I take my $1,500 and go start a business, go partner with somebody, invest in myself, read books, obtain knowledge and information about the current economy that I live in, 10x my cash flow from $1,500 a month to $15,000 a month in the same amount of time that it would take me to pay off the 1.75%, right? And then at any point in time, I could write a check and pay off the debt and be cash flowing $15,000 a month for the rest of my life through passive real estate investments or through passive income or through activity income in my business. You get to decide, Louis. Once you've made a decision, you got to stick to it. You don't want to go flop and flip and flop and flip and finesse and finagle, and you don't want to do all that. Make a decision and move forward. Hope that helps. Best financial advice ever. Wonderful. Christina, as long as the HELOC balance is 2/3 of the HELOC limit, is there any point where the interest starts to become noticeable? Yes. Why? Remember, we're trying to get out of debt, people, if that's the focus. If the focus is get out of debt, why are you trying to, say, abuse velocity banking? We don't want to abuse the concept. You have to run the numbers against debt snowball. That is your measuring stick. So if debt snowball gets you out of debt in 6.5 years, velocity banking needs to do it at least 30 to 40% faster for me to consider doing the concept. I don't want to go 5% faster or 10% faster. I want to go at least, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years faster. Like there's a difference. Because if there's only like a 1 month difference, 6 months difference, it's like how much did we really do? Yeah, you're going faster, but it's like, you know. So we want this thing to be effective a lot faster than debt snowball. You measure it. Okay, here's my borrowing costs. Am I offsetting my borrowing costs when I make a chunk? Yes or no? If you can't solve for that, don't do the concept. It's that easy. You don't want to make the mistake of making a chunk, right? And then come to find out you could have went faster just doing debt snowball. So now you borrowed money like a clown, right? You didn't do your homework. You didn't watch 50 videos. You only watched 4, or somebody said they watched 10 videos earlier. No, you got to really dive into this. This isn't simple debt snowball 7 baby steps. That's why that's so attractive. It's so simple, straightforward, no issues, right? You're done. Problem is, over 75% of Americans still live paycheck to paycheck. So if everybody knows the Dave Ramsey move, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck, it makes you wonder, right? What's the issue? What's the issue? Is it the concept that I'm being taught, or is there a more effective way? Or am I interpreting the concept incorrectly? Am I doing it wrong? Right? That's what we have to solve for. I cut the cord a few years back to save on the ridiculous cable bill. Wonderful. Added an app to my Fire Stick and now access all the channels. Netflix, Disney, event theater movies, all for $50 a month. That is awesome. Yeah, the Fire Stick is sick. It's awesome. Lee says, what is an all-in-one loan? It's a mortgage, it's a checking account, it's a HELOC, all in one. It's pretty cool. I did a workshop on it. You can look up all-in-one loans. It's really, really good material out there. How do you get on your Velocity newsletter? You click the link in every one of my videos. You click on the description. It's the first link. It says, join my private Velocity banking community. Let me see. So you click that drop-down button. It's the first one. It says, join my Velocity banking community here. Bam. You click on that link, send your email. You'll be notified. You'll be notified. Okay. Does this affect your credit score in a negative way? Yes. Your credit score is going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It goes up more than it goes down. So it eventually goes like this. It balances out, right? Now, I don't care about my credit score if I'm trying to get out of debt, right? I don't care if I'm not at an 850 as long as I get to a certain credit behavior, a certain credit rating that can get me access to the tools that I need to accelerate my debt. Once I've obtained the tool, if my intention is I'm not accumulating any more debt, you don't need the credit for anything, right? So I know when I started, my credit score started off at 610, 615, 630. It would drop. It would go up to 680. It would go down to 650. Then it would go to 690, then down to 664, and then it would jump to 705, and then back to 680. And notice how it kept going up. So now I'm at a 794 credit score, right? I don't care. I'm not using my credit really for anything yet. So I don't care what the score is until I need to use it. And so in the meantime, I just manage it. I just show good behavior, right? So yes, it will have a negative effect, also a positive. All right, we're approaching 2 hours, and the comments are still coming in. Love it. Okay. Is there any advantage between 20K chunks every 2 months and 40K every 4 months? What are you saying? I don't know if you're referring to the scenario that I did is there an advantage between 20K chunks every 2 months? If you're able to make $20,000 chunks every 2 months, you've got some serious cash flow, right? So, Mr. Scott, I don't know if you got a ton of cash, but if you're cash flowing over 20 plus thousand a month, velocity banking is irrelevant. It becomes irrelevant. You got to be on infinite banking. You got to be on 10x at that point. Because at that point, if you're debt free and you're cash flowing that much, velocity banking is irrelevant. The only thing you're going to use it for is your credit cards, right? Or your credit score to obtain commercial real estate, to obtain, residential real estate, to obtain businesses. But that's debt leveraging. We're no longer on the velocity, really. You're debt leveraging. Velocity is more on paying off debt and positioning. Debt leveraging says, okay, we're not interested in paying off the debt. We're interested in cash flow and tax write-offs, right? That's what we're more interested in. Cash flow, tax write-offs. The debt shows up on our balance sheet. That's actually good, right? And it just keeps going. So, but like, honestly, Scott, in my community, I'm not exactly attracting people who are making 7 figures or 8 figures. So if you're cash flowing 20 grand a month like I am, there's more interesting stuff that we can talk about instead of velocity banking. Velocity banking is very, it's one level above debt snowball. That's all velocity banking is. One level above debt snowball. One level above that is infinite banking. One level above that is kingdom authority. Above that, 10x, right? And going from there. Didn't realize the difference between simple and simple compound. Great learning. Yep. If you live in one of the major markets, you can use Locast app for $5.50 a month and watch local channels. Cool. Love the feedback. Keep dropping this. This chat room is great. People are going to see this. Oh, I can go here. Oh, I can go there. Save money here. You can save people a lot of money, man. Love it. Grace and peace to you, sir. I have benefited too much from your teaching. Thank you. God bless. Great information, Denzel. How often and on what dates and times are you live? Typically, Thursday evening, 9 p.m. is when I typically will go live. Other than that, I like to try and post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But as of right now, my business exploded in 2020. So I kind of been creating all of my content in my program. And then when I launch it on March 22nd, you're going to see there's going to be a ton of more content in the manifesto. And then you're going to start seeing me post on the YouTube channel a little bit more. But typically, Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. is when I go live. On February 25th at 8:30 is a Thursday. Yep, February 25th, 8:30 p.m. That's a Thursday, 2 weeks from now. I'm going to be live on Clubhouse, not YouTube. So I'm going to be live on Clubhouse. If you guys are on Clubhouse, get on Clubhouse. Going to have an intimate conversation. That's when I get to actually talk to you guys, hear your voice, and see where you're at, and see how I can give value. Oh, he said no. Have you done a barber's income on velocity banking? Yes. I've worked with some, like 1 or 2 barbers before. Typically, I work with mothers, firefighters, police officers, military people, career, tech, engineer are the type of people I attract. Households, husband and wife are the typical, ideal, and type of people I work with. People that have steady incomes, salary-based, maybe hourly with plus commission or overtime. It's typically the type of people I work with. Difference between HELOC and the HELOC. No, I explained that earlier. We're good. I can skip over that. Also, my company just moved from some weird HSA to Fidelity HSA. So much better and much lower fees. Yep, that's good too. I inquired with a bank that was discouraging me from doing a HELOC. Instead, they suggested a close-ended cash-out refi. What do you think is the reason? The reason is profits. It's more profitable for them to do a cash-out refi than a home equity line of credit. Home equity line of credit is typically like no cost, no closing costs. A cash-out refi has closing costs, and they put you in more debt, and it's amortized, closed, not revolving. Took out a loan for my retirement, 1% interest, paid off 2 credit cards with average 25% APR. Now I am using excess money to pay off loan in 1 year, and credit score jumped to 730. Next step should be HELOC. Thoughts? I like it. Sounds good. If people want to comment in the chat room on that, that's great. Above 800, yeah. I think you're moving good. Jason says audio is good. Thank you. I connect my PLOC to checking with overdraft protection, so the money automatically goes to the checking for my PLOC only when balance gets low to cover bills. That works as well. Denzel, you are well on your way to creating Kingdom University. Yes, it's going to be called the Finance Geek Ministry. Okay, that's what I'm setting off. Welcome to the Finance Geek Ministry, brought to you by the Finance Geek, Denzel Rodriguez, not Washington. How do you give to the kingdom? There's a little button. The money sign says super chat, or like a sticker, and it's pretty cool. It's real convenient. Hi Denzel, my car lease ends next month. I decided to purchase a car. Should I pay cash? My car lease ends next month. I decided to purchase the car. Should I pay cash? Totally up to you, Maritza. If you have the capital, the ability to pay cash, and that's what you want to do, then do you, right? I can't argue with that, right? Me, I paid off my car with my cash, right? I just paid the damn thing off. Didn't mind. If you're looking to maybe, I don't know, do something else with your money, like invest or start a business, and you don't want to suck up your cash into the car, depending on how much it is. I don't know if it's a really expensive car or maybe it's a used, whatever it is. I think you need to evaluate your 4 major numbers and see what kind of position are you in. Are you getting ready to start a business? Are you getting ready to partner with somebody? Are you getting ready to invest in crypto or do something? Like, what is the focus? What's the mission? What's the vision for your life? How do we move forward, right? And then we discover that. Say my name gave $20. You're truly blessed. Thank you for being a stellar brother who makes his mother proud. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for the $20 donation. Thank you to Nathaniel that also gave 10. If you feel it in your heart to give to the Finance Geek Ministry, because that's what this is. Essentially, I'm just answering your questions. I'm here. I'm going hard in the paint. We're unlocking financial freedom. We're going over the basics to position us for kingdom authority and to 10x. Let's do it together, right? And so if you want to give, there's a little super chat button, there's a little money sign, and that's where you can give. Denzel, I listened to you 2 years ago, back then when I was over $15,000 in debt, bad credit, no PLOC. Now I'm debt-free, perfect credit, and I quit my regular job, full-time trading. would love to talk to you about how I can use all this extra cash flow income from trading. I average 10 to 15,000 cash flow a month. That's pretty good. And you guys can see the bull. This guy, he fully immersed himself. You can tell by the picture alone. Fully immersed himself in trading. So, you're cash flowing. What I'm cash flowing, I'm roughly 20,000 a month. You said you're 10 to 15K. At that point, we're cash flowing the same. At that point, when you start cash flowing 10, 15, 20K a month, it gets stupid, right? And you're like, oh my God, what do I do with the money, right? So in your case, you're cash flowing 10 to 15 grand, right? A month. All right. This is just kingdom stuff that I'm going to give. And this is general information, but it's kingdom mindset thinking. If I've hit a point in my life where I'm cash flowing 10 to 15K a month, like nothing, at that point, it's like, wow, you start walking different. You feel taller, you look taller, it's just different, right? You're like, wow, the chains have broken, right? You went from a family that was in debt, and you come from a line of mothers and fathers that always been in debt, and you're the first generation to break the damn chains, right? Not the physical chains. Your ancestors already broke the physical chains. Now it's just the mental chains in your brain, and you managed to break that in your DNA through you're the first generation to do it, and here you are. Let's say you're that type of person. I think it's important to know that if you're this type of person, so I'm going to kind of break down the different kind of perspectives, the different types of people. If you're someone like me, first generation to create financial freedom, you come from a demographic, maybe minority, right? Or immigrant family, came to a different country, right? You come from a bloodline of people that have always been in debt. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers, your mother's mother, your dad's dad, all had debt, right? And now you're the first generation to maybe go to college, start a business, 10x, have perfect credit, cash flow 10 to 15K a month. This is a very good place to be, right? First and foremost, it's a blessing, great place to be. You're going to feel, this is real, you're going to feel like an imposter, right? First and foremost, you're going to be like, I don't deserve this. This isn't for me. And why did God do this to me? And why are other people suffering? And I'm just, sitting pretty over here with my DSLR cameras and my nice clothes and my nice watches and beautiful whiteboard and all this stuff. And everything's going fine and dandy. You first have to break through the mental blocks. So if you hit this point, you're making 10 to 15K a month cash flow, you're doing good, you've been doing it consistently, effectively. Very first thing I want, right? Very first thing for me, mentorship, coaching. When you start making money, and I mean good money, I mean like all your bills are paid, no debt. I mean, you got nothing to worry about. You are free from everything, from everything that's happened in 2020 and 2021 and all the chaotic stuff. And you are free. You're sitting at the top of the hill. You're like, I am free. I'm a kingdom citizen. I'm born again. I've just free, man. You're doing good. Mentorship and coaching. I would be very comfortable spending thousands of dollars in this area. Mentorship and coaching. The reason why is mentorship and coaching will allow you to jump. Explosion. Right? So mentorship and coaching. on personal development and connecting with other individuals that make more money than you. Because you have to get away from the people that you know. This is deep. This is kingdom stuff. You have to get away from that toxic energy. Yes, it could be your family. It could be your friends. Why? You grew up with them. So if you grew up with people that were all broke, people that had poor mindset, people that are all in debt, bad credit, bad this, bad that, this one put a collateral on this one, and this one left his wife, and that one left his husband, and this one cheated on that one, and blah, blah, blah. And it's, I mean, chaotic stuff. You've got to distance yourself from all of that garbage, right? That's going to be very tough to do. You're going to feel compelled to bring people with you. Never lose that. Bring people with you that want to come with you, that genuinely want to grow and build, right? But if people don't want it, they don't want it. That's why very few succeed, because they didn't really want it, right? So you don't lose that ability to bring people with you, which leads to my next point on giving. So this is kingdom stuff. Giving. 10% is the minimum. That's a biblical thing. It's a logical thing. Every business owner, every successful millionaire I've ever spoken to, 10% is the number they tell me. And biblically, that's what, if you're into that, that's what that says, So giving is huge. Giving where? You can give to a church, a nonprofit, an organization. You can give to a person individually, right? Whatever you want, wherever you feel in your heart, as long as you give from the heart, it's going to come back to you 10x. So this is kingdom stuff, kingdom protocols, right? If you give, you get back tenfold. It's kingdom stuff. Mentorship, that's going to allow you to explode. Mentorship and coaching, right? If you haven't already done the basics, right? If you're cash flowing 10 to 15 grand, if you haven't already started the IBC, you might as well get that rolling. It's not going to hurt you, right? Go reach out to IBC Global. Talk to Steve, talk to Phil, talk to Brandon, talk to Stephanie, talk to Samantha. They'll help you put a policy in place as soon as possible. Funding a certain amount of money, you can get that thing rolling. If you haven't already started building business credit, you might as well get that going. So you can click the link below for the life insurance asset. You'll see that link there. You'll reach out to Steve Parisi over at IBC Global. They have a wonderful channel. I went with them. I have 2 policies with them now. It's phenomenal. Works great. Business credit, Sebastian Boyer, great guy. Link is below to build business credit. You're already building a business, right? So, which is your trading. That's what you're doing, and you're doing it well. So the only places that currently for me that works in terms of keeping a store of value, right, is gold, silver, and crypto. And I'm, no more than 10% in this area. Gold, silver, and crypto is how I operate personally. So I give 10% of my wealth. I save 10% of my wealth in these areas like gold, silver, and crypto. And I operate most of the giving and the saving out of IBC. So if I plan on throwing, 10K in crypto and 10K in silver and 10K in gold, let's say you plan on doing that, before I throw it directly to the gold and silver and the crypto, I add up all that money and I have it come out of the IBC first. And then I borrow it out and I go buy these things, right? So if you're not already doing that, you might as well just get that started. That's not hard to do. The business credit, that's not hard to do. It's a matter of time and commitment. You talk to Sebastian Boyer, I'm telling you, the guy will get you right on business credit. You already got perfect personal credit. Start the business credit. It's not going to hurt you. Okay? The next area is, in my opinion, real estate. Right? So when it comes to the mentorship and coaching, you're going to want to find a mentor or a coach that does what you do, but they do it better than you, right? So at least you can get around a space of people that are actually doing what you're doing. They do it better than you, faster than you. They have a team. I mean, they're just going crazy, right? And you can piggyback, see if they have content, build your fantasy league. Be sure to keep giving. That's a kingdom method. Keep your coaches close, right? Your mentors closer. Real estate, that's just a matter of acquiring real estate property, whether you want to do fix and flip or buy and hold. I think buy and hold might be better if your main thing is trading. If that's your main thing, we don't want to be taken away from these other things. This is the money driver, the trading for you. It's your money driver. So I don't want to be taken away by these other things. I want to kind of automate it, right? And then the other thing is, depending on if you have a family of your own, or just, you know, people around you that you trust to inherit your kingdom and perpetuate it, is establishing a family legacy. That has to do with estate planning, wills, trusts, you know, just mapping out how does life look like when you die? Who do you leave your wealth to? Because you can't take it to the grave. That's what Drake said. Put my money in the grave. But you can't do that, right? And that wouldn't be smart. Put the money in the grave. No. You got to give it back to your kids, to your wife, your husband, your brother, sister, mom, dad, you know, whoever is in your life. But you want to be able to give it effectively and have a process that goes with it so that the next generation doesn't blow it, right? So this is kingdom stuff, powerful stuff. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's see. I got to scroll back up. Something happened. I want to make sure I don't skip. Let's see. Is that good? Is that good? You like it? I think it was good. Approaching 2.5 hours. I have to stop because it's about to be midnight and I got to drive home. So I got to stop in a minute. Let's see. I left off here, right? Where say my name, gave $20. Oh yeah, that's where I left off. Bam, bam, handled that. Yep, Pentagon, Pen Fed, okay. Hope you decide to have a live session covering what people can do to convert their 401k accounts into something better. I don't cover that. I'm not educated on that. If you check out a channel called Wealth Dynamics, Jerry Feta, he's very good covering that area. Mark J. Kohler, CPA, he talks about converting your 401k into maybe a self-directed IRA, self-directed Roth IRA. I don't know. Could work. I don't know. Haven't tried it. I personally have never owned a 401k, so I don't want to speak on something I don't know of, but I will refer you to the resources, you know, people that I've listened to and I spoke about it before, but I'm just not that educated yet. Purchased my first duplex last year. Should be purchasing my second duplex this year, all with down payment assistance from the state. Not bad. Taking advantage. Leverage, debt leverage. Converting a 401k without leaving the company is really hard. It was a great episode of Bigger Pockets Money Podcast discussing it. Thank you, right? Let's provide resources. That's great. Look at this. Episode 161, if I remember correctly. That's awesome. Okay. We're talking, we're giving value. I like it. Hi all, to those who are on the fence about velocity banking, cash flow banking, assuming your numbers make sense, it really does help when done properly. Love it. Thank you. He says, run your numeros, run your numbers. With that program, do you have to live in the multifamily property? Probably. Yep, he said yes for 1 year, but if you're smart, you can find ways around it. Pretty cool. Okay. We're still talking about saving money on cable. Man, cable is a huge, stupid bill. If you're paying cable, if you're paying like $300-400 a month on cable, It's a waste of money. There are so many better services out there. So I'm so glad that you guys like really brought the heat in that specifically, because that's just so much money. So much money. 750,000 in debt, 26,000 monthly bills, average 23,000 income. Whoa. 26,000 monthly bills, average income 23,000. No credit. Selling properties will have 120,000 to create debt tool. Want to do infinite banking with max deferred loans for 3 years. Thoughts? Thank you. For me, it looks like I'm running a negative, but with the windfall of cash of $120,000, I personally, if I was in that position, it looks like I don't have problems making money, but it's about managing the money, and I might have to do a detox on how I'm operating my finances. Where is my waste? I need to first just get back to a cash flow positive position. Once I've achieved that and done it consistently for 90 days to about 6 months, 3 to 6 months consistently, then yeah, maybe we do some infinite banking. I don't know. You can reach out to IBC Global and they can create some illustrations for you to start taking a look at. Maybe you can get that going. Me personally, I got to get my 4 major numbers in line before I make any moves. You know, again, I don't want people to get hyped up about infinite banking. It's not going to create financial freedom. You're negative the first 5 years. It takes a while to build the money up. So you have to make sense of that. We have to be cash liquid to really benefit from infinite banking, right? It shouldn't be the go-to. It should be an add-on, a feature and benefit that adds more velocity to the whole equation. I would be more in the mindset of 10x, Grant Cardone thinking. How do I explode, create attention, attract money? He always says, who's got my money? Who's got my money? Right? That's the mindset I want to be in. Should I invest in Bitcoin right now or wait? Or Tron? I don't know what that is. Okay, he was talking about probably the cable thing or something. I personally am continuing to buy Bitcoin regardless of the price. I do it because I have the means to do it. So if I'm wondering, should I invest in Bitcoin, the real question I should be asking is, have I invested in myself first? Have I invested in myself first, right? Am I reading books on blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and different crypto projects and companies that are adopting cryptocurrencies? Have I done the research, right? Is that part of your investor DNA? Thank you for linking us with awesome people with integrity who provide great value. Had a consultation with your buddy Alex, great guy. It was amazing. I cannot wait to position us in order to invest for his help. Yes, he is solid. Hi, if I have a mutual permanent whole life with a great setup and I take out a loan against my death benefit and don't pay it back, will my credit score be affected as well? No. Your life insurance policy is not connected to your credit score. So that's another nice thing. Okay. Have you heard of Speed Equity by Harm Jill? Will you ever author a book available at bookstores separate from Manifesto? Yes, I'm in the process of partnering with somebody to write a book. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. James says, preach. Preach, brother. Brown says, to the guy that's the trader, you can help me, I'm open. Nice. You may get lucky with a regional bank or credit union, but big red, big blue, and the bank with the horses will steer you toward amortized debt. That's funny. That's funny. That's so true. A financial advisor disagrees with infinite banking. He believes it is just advertisement for agents to earn money. How and who will persuade whom? How and who will persuade whom? So, there are very few financial advisors that endorse the infinite banking concept. Very few. I think that's mainly in part because it's not a part of their portfolio. I think based on the marketplace and what I've seen and when I talk to financial advisors, the conversations that I've had with financial advisors, not only are they not okay, they don't endorse velocity banking, they don't endorse infinite banking, but they also do not endorse debt leveraging. So it's like, okay, so that means that the only strategy to create financial freedom in their mind is to invest in a 401k, in an IRA, in a mutual fund, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index, S&P, all products that they sell. So you as a consumer, when you get approached by a financial consultant or a financial advisor, you're always going to be pitched by whatever they receive a commission on. I'm putting myself in that, right? So me personally, I consider myself a financial consultant, not an advisor. If somebody says they're an advisor, that means they have a license. They're authorized to sell you financial investment products, okay? A financial consultant takes a more holistic approach. Hey, what do you want? Who are you? What's your purpose in life? Where are you going? What are your goals? How many kids you got? Wife, husband? What are you doing? What are you working on? Where do you want to go? How big do you want to build this, right? Different approach, totally different approach. Financial coaching, same thing. They look at the mental blocks, they try to look back and see what your relationship with money is, and then where do I deploy that? Typically, the financial coach and the financial consultant has a relationship with the financial advisor. So once they get your money right, the consultant, me, once I get your money right, and the financial coach, when they help you get your money right, they're just going to push you to someone that they're affiliated or partnered with. Again, I'm putting myself in this box. They're going to put you with someone that they're affiliated with, that they'll receive a commission, referral commission off of. That's just how the system operates. What I like to do is bring a little more transparency and say, hey, if you want to do that, go talk to this person, reach out to this channel. You might be more interested if you do not want to do velocity banking. You do not want to do infinite banking. No harm, no foul. I say, hey, do you want to invest in gold, silver, crypto? Do you want to do real estate? What do you want to do? Let's go. I got the money. You got the money. Let's go. Let's do it. Right? I'm not against it. It's just a matter of where, what your goals are and who do you know, like, and trust. That's going to help you build that financial future, that financial legacy that you're going to be proud of. That's what it boils down to. Who do you know, like, and trust? And how do you move forward? Okay? If the interest rates are low and the payments make sense in your budget, amortized debt isn't always bad. Just run the numbers as D says. Yeah. Just wondering which is better to pay off larger chunks over more months or smaller chunks over shorter periods. That's a more clarifying question. Thank you. Typically, it depends on your four major numbers. What I call that, smaller chunks, I call it micro chunking. If I'm dealing with somebody that has 16 credit cards, I might do little micro chunks to knock off each one. Just depends. And then I typically stick with the bigger chunks, but there may be periods where it makes sense to just do a little micro chunk here, especially if you're trying to invest in a property or something like that. So that's typically the case. Let's see. How many people we got here? Got 154 people in the house. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right. The 2-hour mark and the principles are gold. Despite your collaboration video with Wealth Nation, how is it that their preferred splits seem to be 60-40 splits? And now I'm finding out IBC Global has higher splits with less required funding. Why? Good question. So that has to do with the different insurance agents' preferences. So when you read the book, Become Your Own Banker, you're not going to see 90-10 split examples. You're going to see more 60-40, right? That's something that Nelson Nash, which is like the godfather of infinite banking, who gets the credit for infinite banking becoming your own banker. He kind of brought it to the masses. It used to be exclusive to the rich, and then he brought it to the masses, right? And a 60-40 split, when you compare it to a 90-10 split, right? Same age, same gender, male or female, right? Same age, same health, same finances, same funding amount. What you will see in the later years, the 90-10 split and the 60-40 are damn near the same towards the later years, right? So if you're funding a policy for, say, 20 years, right, and you do a 60-40 split or you do a 10-90, when you get past the 20-year mark, like in the later years, they're both pretty close in cash value amount, net, guaranteed, off the guarantees. Just looking at the guarantees, they're pretty close. We're talking maybe $10,000 to $20,000 off. The primary difference, though, is with a 90-10 split, or even an 80-20, or 75-25. It requires less premium, so less cost to get to the same distance, right? So if you're running down block A and I'm running down block B, and on block A you have to stop 4 times to pay a fee to get to the end. And then on my block, I only have to stop twice to pay 2 fees to get to the same location, but it costs less. Not only does it cost less, right, but I have more liquidity. I have more access, right? So with a 90-10 split or a 85-15, a 75-20, you are going to start off with more cash value in the beginning years in comparison to a 60-40. You're locking up 40% of whatever amount you're putting in, right? So they both work, right? It's just that with a 70-30, 75-25, 80-20, 85-15, or 90-10, no matter which way you look at it, you're gonna have more cash value up front in the beginning years for the same amount of funding, right? And the same time frame. Same amount, it's just one costs more than the other, and they get to the same place. It's just this one takes longer. That's the reality. So with a 60-40 split, from the ones that I've seen based on the guarantees, like from a Lafayette or Penn Mutual or Mutual of Omaha, the break-even point is usually 9 years, 8 years, 10, 11 years, right? Is usually the break-even point based off the guarantees. with a 90-10 split, you break even year 5, year 6, year 7, right? Typically. So you break even faster, you have more access to cash. I can do more with the money than the 60-40 split. So I did a collaboration with them because I want to bring transparency and say, look, at the end of the day, you as the consumer, you want to go with who you know, like, and trust. That they have your best interests in mind. You also want to make sure that whatever it is that they're selling you, that they're practicing it. So I know Carmen and Darius, they practice what they preach. They really do, right? That's why I connected with them and I said, hey, let's bring more transparency and be unified in this space. Let's stop confusing our clients and let's just be transparent and say, look, this is how I do it. This is how I operate. This is how he does it. This is how she does it. And then you get to decide what you want to do ultimately, okay? That's super important to really get that. I hope that really lands for you, okay? Yeah, so true. Wealth Nation presented 64 policy design. I didn't move forward because they stopped answering my questions. Fast forward 8 months, IBC popped up. Cool. Yeah, they're also pretty busy, I'm not gonna lie. Carmen and Darius, they're pretty busy. They're focusing on high cash value while giving up their commission up front and spreading it out over the long term. Insurance agents still get a commission with every year you keep your policy. Correct. Up to 10 years, I believe. 10 years. James, thank you for giving $10. I appreciate that. Given to the kingdom. Yep. Mentorship is key. I did not find yet an agent of life insurance to inspire trust to me. It takes time. It takes time, definitely. Zero cost. Good night, Denzel. Yep, I think you guys are burnt out. I'm pretty sure you're burnt out. Most of you are burnt out. 119 people in the house. I'm sure some of you tuned out. I'm getting ready to tune out as well. I just love getting to all the questions. There's something about it. I got to get to all the questions. It felt right with IBC. They were patient with all my questions, and my medical exam for the policy is actually tomorrow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. Oh, man. I'm an auto driver. I have 25,000. Something. I reach. Please get. Sounds like you're in another country. I'm only educated in the U.S. Sounds like you're using a different currency. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Love your comment at 11:14. Cool. Should I focus on my new business, which may earn 15 profit per month in the 12 to 18 months from today, or should I start velocity banking in course? I need cash reserve for the next 2 to 12 months. Thoughts? Me? 10x over everything. I throw velocity banking out the window. I throw infinite banking out the window. I will 10x first over everything. That's my attitude. And then we can velocity banking. Then we can play around, you know. But we got to make the money. We got to make the money. So glad this is my community and what I've learned. I'm only 17 and I have a whole YouTube channel. Nice. Reminds me of the got to get my money right. Yeah. Thank you. You're amazing. Can't wait for the next live stream. I'm here. Awesome. Just worked 14 hours on the front lines. Can't believe I raced home while listening to you and got home and I'm all in. Wonderful. Taking notes and loving this since beginning. Taking all this is amazing. Hands down, everything. Antoinette Jones gave $5. Thank you. Good job while raising his thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm still here for the 3 hours. Let's go. James is intense, man. Say my name. This is good. Awesome, awesome. I got to the end. That's it. We're closing it out. God bless you all. Yeah, I skipped over some comments, but they weren't questions. They were just, you know, nice comments, things like that. This has been great. We're going to keep this up. My energy is, I'm excited. So Do your velocity banking, do your infinite banking, get your numbers right, do your 4 major numbers. Let's go. We got to build a kingdom. It has nothing to do with religion. We have to build a kingdom so you can have dominionship over your life, so you can have authority. Yes, is that exciting? Man, it's freaking 11:45. I get hyped up about this. You enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless, and we will talk soon.